What's up, everyone, and welcome back to HBCU Game Day. I am Symone Stanley, and today I am glad to be joined by defensive end, incoming defensive end for the North Carolina A&T Aggies, Mitchell Etheridge III. Mitchell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. So, Mitchell, you're going to be transferring from Jacksonville State University to North Carolina A&T. But what originally made you want to go to Jacksonville State University?
Going to Jacksonville State. I always been going to Jacksonville State games my whole life. My dad, he played football at Jacksonville State
Okay.
University as well, so that played a big role in where I kind of wanted to go to school coming out of high school.
So, what was your time like there? What was the biggest things you might have learned on field or off the field?
I learned a lot of new things going to Jacksonville because my freshman year, I had I had Coach Nelson, that's my D line coach. Then that staff got left. Then a new staff with Rich Rod came in, and Coach Green, he was the one that actually recruited me out of high school at Jacksonville State, but he left. They ended up coming back, which was a good thing. And he taught me a lot of new stuff that I really didn't know. And I felt like if I knew some of those stuffs ahead, I probably would have been playing way better than what I have been playing.
Okay. So, at what point did you feel like your time at Jacksonville State University needed to come to an end?
I mean, I realized I really wasn't getting as much playing time as I would like to because I had two really good defensive ends in front of me, Chris Hardy and Javaris Hoskins, and they both had like 2 to 3 years of eligibility left. And I knew I also had 3 years of eligibility left, so I had to make a business decision.
It's all business at the end of the day. What was your experience like in the transfer portal? Because you're on Twitter, you see how the transfer
Yeah.
portal has been jumping this season.
Oh yeah, it's jumping. It was really jumping. I mean, it was a risk, 13, say like 1,300 kids in the transfer portal. That's a lot of kids in the transfer portal. I mean, I at first it was kind of slow. I had a lot of detours in me up, this and that. Then NCAT, they hit me up, called me.
NCAT, that's what y'all
NCAT,
call it now?
NCAT,
I've
NCAT,
never heard anybody call it NCAT.
never. What do you call it?
Well, I'm from Greensboro, A&T. We call it A&T.
A&T. Okay. Well,
That sound like a standardized test, like you take at the end of the year, the NCAT. Well,
well,
go ahead.
A&T, they called me. They hit me up. They said they love my film and they wanted me to come down for a visit that weekend. So I did, and I had a blast. I loved it. I loved the campus. I loved what the coaches had to say to me. I felt like everything was right to go to North Carolina A&T.
Okay, so your opinion on the transfer portal, because you're all about your business, like you said. When you
Yeah.
see everybody, giving their 2 cents on the transfer portal on Twitter, did that ever kind of deter you? Like, maybe I should stay put. You ultimately bet it on yourself, but did you ever have any doubt?
I mean, I did have some doubts knowing that I didn't really have a lot of game film, but I knew I had some practice film that actually looked good. So, I mean, I bet it on myself and it turned out for the best.
Okay, so what other programs were you talking to besides A&T, NCAT, the Aggies?
I was talking to UT Martin, talking to Alabama A&M, Southern Illinois. I talked to Southern for a little bit. West Alabama, I talked to Miles, those type of schools.
So a wide range of schools, a lot of different conferences, some D2, a lot of D1. What was it ultimately about A&T that made it the perfect fit?
I mean, I knew going in. I always told myself if I end up transferring from Jacksonville, that I would want to go to a HBCU. And North Carolina A&T, number one HBCU in the nation, that led a big part into where I decided to go to school.
Okay, so A&T has a lot of changes going from the Big South to the CAA. How do you feel about that as somebody coming in while the program is having changes?
I mean, it was like that this year when I was at Jacksonville State. We had moved from the OVC to the A sign with a new coaching staff. So, and we ended up winning the conference championship. So I feel like if you got the right staff, you got the right plan, you can do what you got to do.
Okay, so coaching wise, I think it was last week. I heard Sam Washington was, I don't know if he was relieved or he left, but that came as a surprise to me. Was that a surprise to you? Did you know that while you were being recruited?
Nah, it was a shocker to me too because the day I committed on I think that Tuesday and he was let go that Wednesday. It shocked me big. It was a big shock.
Yeah, I loved Sam Washington. Super cool dude. Do you have any idea who might be replacing him?
I have no idea right now, but I still been in contact with the coaching staff that's still there right now, and they're all for everything right now.
Okay, so let's talk about your game style for a little bit. You are a defensive end. What makes you stand out at that position?
I mean, I am one of the shorter defensive ends, but I feel like I have a high motor. I feel like I really have a high motor. I feel like I can go sideline to sideline. I got a quick ball, a ball get off. I mean, I feel like I'm undersized lineman, so I know it's more stuff that I have to do to prepare myself that maybe somebody that's like a 6'5" D lineman might not have to do.
So, what are those specific things that you're going to be working on this off season, this spring, to get yourself ready for your first season at NCAT?
I'm still gonna be working on my strength. You know, strength is always a big thing. My speed as well, but I feel like my pass rush is something I'm still working on. I feel like I'm getting really good at it. I feel like that's something that's like on the top of my list right now.
Do you have any weight room goals? Like, is there any numbers that you're trying to hit at a certain point?
I mean, I feel like by the time I graduate, I feel like I want to end up lifting probably benching somewhere between 400 to 500.
What about this off season? You got any goals like this off season in the weight room? Because you said you the one who brought up the weight room, so I just
I
asking.
mean, go. I mean, every. I feel like every player always has goals in the off season to get stronger, to get faster. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff you just got to work on. Really, it's really hard to just describe a certain goal you have in the off season.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have that one, even though I know you probably got something written on your chalkboard. You probably got some notes in your phone, but I'll let you have it. So, how do you see yourself fitting in with the way A&T runs their defense right now?
Oh, I feel like I can fit in. 'Cause, when I went down there on my official visit, I talked to Coach Howard, the defensive coordinator, and Coach Willis, the D-line coach, and I feel like what they do is something that I love to do. Get vertical, set the edge, and I can do that. I know I can.
Okay, so are there any players in the league you like watching right now? Any defensive linemen you like to take pieces of their game from?
Aaron Donald for
I
sure.
knew you were gonna say Aaron
Aaron,
Donald.
Aaron Donald for sure. Deron Payne, Big
Okay.
Payne. He went to Shade Valley High School, the high school I went to. So, you know, I always looked up to him growing up. He went to Alabama. You know, I always knew I probably wasn't gonna go to Alabama, but he was always somebody we always looked up to. He come back to the high school and talk to us, but he has a good game. Hopefully, he makes the Pro Bowl this year.
You been retweeting
I,
that vote? You been helping him out?
almost most definitely, I went and voted plenty of times, but
Okay, I
I
like
feel
that.
like I think an end that I really like probably JJ Watt, TJ Watt, those guys.
I can see that. I can see that. So, lastly, let me ask you. You said you had in your mind that you wanted to play HBCU football. Why is that, and what has you excited to play HBCU football with the Aggies?
I mean, I get to play with more people like me. You feel me? If you get what I'm saying. Going to HBCU. I mean, going to HBCU is probably one of the best things. I have a lot of friends that go to HBCUs, and I went to PWI, so going to HBCU, hearing all the things they do, all the stuff they do, it's just something I always wanted to be a part of.
Okay, I love it for you, Mitchell. Well, we're super excited to see what you and the Aggies do come fall. We'll see a little sneak peek in the spring, but congratulations again.
Thank you.
Well, guys, I am Symone Stanley. He is Mitchell. We are here with HBCU Game Day. Thank you guys so much for joining us.